Welcome back, guys. We're coming to you live from the Wheel Zone.
Wheel Zone.
With your same old guest, Billy G, Robbie C, and me. And our guests today are Beto and Danny from the Wheel Zone. Welcome back, guys.
Hopefully the recording's going good and it'll be our second episode on YouTube.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Peace.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Beto was here the last episode, didn't really say anything, but just cheerleading.
Yeah,
Why don't you introduce yourself, dude? Tell us a little bit.
Talk to Beto.
Hey, I'm Beto. I've been working with Danny probably like 2013, on and off a little bit, but yeah, man, I like really enjoying this place just because the knowledge the boss has, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, I have this car. What can we fit on it? And next thing you know, the knowledge is just like the numbers, like if you work at Office Depot and SKU numbers, man, his tires are like all SKU numbers in his head.
Tire sizes, wheel sizes.
Yeah, and then most important, man, automotive, man, love it.
Automotive,
cars,
camaraderie, right?
Everything, and as you can see, we go from A to Z here, and everything in between.
You guys got it all.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I can tell, man. You guys are actually passionate about what you do. You guys know your stuff. Like you were talking about, Danny. You have a variety for a reason. So it's not like one market. You have a pretty big market corner. Like you have a Lambo, come through.
Yeah, they got Lambo wheels here.
You got a Bronco, come through. You got a Civic, you got Mercedes, Beamer, whatever you got, come through. I'm guaranteeing you they'll do it. If they don't have it, they'll figure out how to get it because that's pretty much what I'm seeing now. I'm getting that, man. Yeah. So it's really, really legit. You guys give us a tour. A little bit of tour, man. Holy smokes. I have never seen so many wheels in my life, dude. Like, we were talking about wheels, like...
It's actually a small shop. It's actually a small shop. But yeah.
It's a small shop. There's a lot of wheels, like
they
lot of
got
variety.
A lot. Yeah. That's got to be the most wheels I've ever seen.
Yeah. The boss does not like to say no.
No, you got it all. I mean, everything.
We try to... So like I said, back in my days, it was just up to 16-inch. So inventory, you didn't have to have that many wheels. I mean, and how much storage. But nowadays, 20-inch, 22s, 20 whatever, and then the tires 37s. So the volume, it's all. And Beto knows we have our, I guess I could call it our secret locations where we store. We have containers full of tires. So we literally have a lot more inventory.
That's shown.
That's not here.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So
I think I just heard a sale from online or something because this thing just went off.
So most
online sales, man.
Most of our inventory is not here. It's in our storage.
Nice.
Storage.
So
can I have the address to that storage?
So do you guys have like if you don't have a wheel here that someone's looking for, come in and ask, right?
So for example, so what you see here. There's literally in these two small rooms. There's over 200 wheels.
Wow!
And you don't see for each wheel. You see one, but the other three are in containers.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So we do have a lot of containers, and Beto knows me. And,
Thank you.
I honestly, I have to thank Beto because he's been a loyal friend, a loyal employee for all these years.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find, in your life, you don't go through that many.
Yeah, thank you.
It's hard to find. He has a passion. And I had some talks with Beto, personal talks and everything. And where I'm at, like I said, I've been doing this 31 years. I never thought I was gonna do this for this long.
Yeah.
People that know me, I guess they know that I'm very dedicated. I don't budge and stuff like that. But I'm telling Beto, I'm getting old. I need to retire pretty soon. I want to retire pretty soon.
Yeah.
And
kick him out on Saturdays, man. I'd be like, hey, dude, go.
Yeah, he helps me out on the weekends.
Take off, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so and I'm at a point I want to downsize. I guess. I could open when I first started. My competitors. One of my. Maybe you guys know. Remember back then there was a place called AV&A.
Man,
Broadway.
Too expensive in the winter.
Actually, I learned a lot from the owner. Roberto was his name.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's still out there if he sees me.
I used to window shop there. That's all I would do.
Was that performance or no?
Performance team,
Performance
and
team.
it became AV&A. he back then, and I know a lot of shops. When they've been doing this for so long, I know a lot of shops that he used to have 7 stores.
Dang.
Wow.
And now, if you guys recognize names like Joe's, El Amigo,
Yep.
and all those, they actually branched out of his
Out of
stores.
his
Oh
store?
wow!
So they learned all the tricks there. And
Employees that
Yeah.
they basically started
Correct.
their stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they did pretty good. I don't, in Spanish they say el sol nace para todos.
Yeah.
The sun shines for everyone. If you really want to make something happen, you can do it. You don't need anyone else.
I did have a bad experience with one of those shops. I won't say which one.
Yeah.
So everybody, every single store has their, I call it quality control. Quality control, right? My own quality control. I try to please. I know I'm not gonna please everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I try to please most of them.
Yeah.
And I probably serviced, just by the numbers, probably 90 to 100,000 customers.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Wow.
And because just by the numbers on the invoices and all that, I know that for a fact. And then you always, to make one sale, you have to literally talk to like 4 or 5 people, and then you make the sales. So you do the numbers, it gets up there. But like I said, you're always going to find the customer that's not pleased with anything. I don't mind losing them. But I try to please most of them,
Yeah.
That's the way the business has to be run. And what they say that I don't believe in the, it sounds messed up, but the customer is always right. No. The customer is right if you're respectful, if you're, yes, I understand he's right.
But if he's disrespectful and
some customers, they get a flat tire and they because they bought it here, and they say, well, you sold me a messed up tire. Well, maybe you went through something, you blew up the tire, maybe that.
Yeah.
maybe it's this nail in there.
I don't know who came up with that phrase. It feels like Nordstrom or some sales pitch. The customer's always right. Like, no. There's a lot of
That's just
not so smart people or people that are jerks, because I deal with customers too, right? And I understand, like, hey, we're trying to help you. We're not gonna take abuse, and we're not gonna just because you're throwing a fit. Like, no. Along those lines, I was gonna ask a question, because part of my bad experience was I saw some wheels I liked. They put them on. I trusted them to put them on, and then what happened was I drove all the way to Paris, California. And on my way back, I felt the car like real shaky. So it turns out like all but like 3 lug nuts fell off. The wheels weren't actually flush because I had a Foreigner just like that, and there's like the centerpiece that sticks out a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, the wheel
The
wasn't
board?
going over. Yeah, it wasn't going over the board. Dude.
The center board was.
So
Yeah.
it stripped the lugs. I was so pissed. I'm like, bro, I had my family. Like, the guy's like, oh, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like,
Because Toyotas have a big center board, right?
They're one of the biggest.
91 millimeter.
106.
Yeah, that's the hub board. The hub board. Yeah. So the wheel needs
Is it 106?
106 point something.
So it's bigger than a regular, I think like Chevy and GM have a 6 lug,
And-
but it's not the same board.
and the thing is, they could have told me, no, these don't fit.
They didn't
check it
care.
out.
They slapped
didn't
them on
care.
there.
They slapped them on.
Tighten
So
them down.
my question is, have you ever turned away a customer because you know the right thing? You're like, that's not gonna work. I wouldn't want to do this.
Yeah, so I tell Beto, we don't have it, just offer him with something that fits properly. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no need to be, like I said, there's no need to be as the customer.
Yeah.
No, just
Yeah.
keep it short and simple,
Yeah,
and
Be honest.
all the respect, and that's it.
Our responsibility, yes, is to provide customer with the correct product.
Yeah.
Correct design, correct color. We don't care.
Like, we don't even sell spacers when you sell your wheels.
Yeah.
Like, hey man,
But
you're gonna
I
invest
would
money.
advise-
Exactly.
Let's do
Get
direct
the right size.
direct fitment if we can, hub centric, and
And I think all that comes down to experience.
Correct.
And knowing your product.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
knowing
And like I said, you have to be fair. You have to be
Yep.
fair. You can't tell customer if you messed up and you tried the wrong wheel. I'll tell customers if it's my mess up, I'm responsible for it. But if you messed up, or for example, I had customers that buy, I want chrome wheels, and they show up to their house, and the wife is all. She hates chrome wheels, and they come back. Wait a minute. That's called buyer's remorse.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's on you. That's not me,
Yeah.
right? That's you're the one that made that call.
Hey, so what ended up happening with that situation?
Bro, I thought I was gonna get jumped, man, because I made a scene at the shop. Honestly, like it was down there in Logan area, so commercial somewhere over there, one of those shops. And eventually, the dude's all like, "Hey, man, my family's at risk, dude. Like, you tell me you wouldn't be pissed." No, ¿sabes qué? Yeah, that's correcto, güey. No te preocupes.
So they took care of you.
They took care of it. They took the wheels to a machine shop, boarded out.
Oh, yeah.
Did they bring it here, Danny?
No, because I remember where they went. They did it quick. They did it right on the spot, yeah. It's all industrial over there, right?
Yeah.
So I did it, man. Got it done. I'm all right, cool, man. Thank you. But I was like, yeah, I'm not going back there, dude.
Yeah.
And again, I think it was just a lack of experience on their part. Like they didn't hire the right person or something, and it took some time.
Yeah, it's a lot of times. I'll tell you something else. So a lot of times it's not necessarily that the owners probably intended that, or it's probably the wheels, the employees overlooked it.
Yeah.
And so maybe a lot of times it's not necessarily, because there's also
there's
also human error.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and it's not necessarily that it was intentional. People they misconstrue things.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to look into that too. So yes, but yeah, as Beto knows, I tell him, no, you offer what's right. Offer the right tire. Offer the right. I'm not gonna risk the whole business. Over a small markup. It's not worth it. Just offer the right product. If the customer is that he wants he wants the wrong wheel on his vehicle, you tell him straight up. You want the wrong wheel, but guess what? I'm gonna make you sign here that you're responsible for your
customer advised.
Customer's been advised.
Yeah,
because of customers, I I'll tell you a story. And this is kind of funny. I got a customer. He came in with a Grand Cherokee, like a 2000. This is not so long ago, and he wanted 37s on a Grand Cherokee
stock.
And no, I think he had like a 3-inch level, and he thought it was all it. And I told him, you know what? That's never going to happen. He said, what do you mean it's not going to happen? He says, I don't mind cutting the fender. Sure? Yeah. He was so stubborn. No, yeah, put him on. Yeah, I want him on right now. Don't you sure you want him? Because I tell you what, if I put him on and then and I have to mount and bounce, yeah, I want him on. Yeah, put him on right now. He says, if I put him on, you're gonna pay me the labor, okay? To mount, and they're gonna charge you for unmounting and balancing and everything. I'm gonna charge you because I'm pulling wheels out of boxes. I'm putting this and that.
Yeah.
Got customers waiting.
The wheels fit. The bolt pattern was right. Yeah. The offset was right. Everything was right on the wheel. But he was stubborn. He wanted his 37-inch tall tires. Yeah, I've already got these wheels. I want them on. I already bought my tires. I want them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, you sure you don't want? You're okay with us trimming your fender? Oh yeah, sure. I don't mind. You trim it. So we started trimming the front end of the fender.
Yeah.
And he didn't mind how much we cut. He said, trim it. I don't care. Yeah. And then it's okay. So then we go to the back wheel and start trimming the fender, but. You know how the door
hits the rear fender?
Yeah, hits the rear fender.
Yeah.
You literally had to trim the door.
Oh, shit.
To trim the door for the 37.
Yeah.
And so
he told you guys
you sure you want to trim the door now? I told you it wasn't going to fit. Oh. And he says, whoa, wait a minute. Well, I told you it was not going to fit.
So they say the customers.
Because I even gave him, when people, because I get a lot of customers, they think they know this stuff. And they go out there and Craigslist, whatever, or offer whatever, buy their own wheels, and they show up. Oh, guess what? I ended up buying the wrong wheels. So what I do, I tell customers, you can trade in those old wheels. I probably won't give you exactly what you paid for, but you can trade them. I'll give you a reasonable price, right? And you can apply that credit towards whatever you buy from me. Oh no, I want to make this happen. You want to make it happen? Okay, you're responsible. Yeah. But I'm trying to offer you what's right for the vehicle.
Just cover the labor.
Yeah. Some customers are just stubborn.
Yeah, for sure. Dang. So what services do you guys offer here? So obviously wheels, but what else?
It's got wheels, tires. We do mild lifts, nothing too crazy.
We can do the big lifts, but it's just I don't. It's small shop. The factoring all the time. You might make a little more, but it's not. I rather do simple. I'm getting kind of like simple jobs, but it's not just. We're not a
performance shop.
Yeah, like a custom shop. They want to customize everything.
Yeah,
just mild. I mean, but we worked on I literally worked on every single car out there. I mean, every single. Pickup, UTVs, pretty much everything.
So you guys do repairs for wheels, right?
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with welding,
Cracked, bent, do cosmetic.
polishing. I have a polisher, professional polisher. You can powder. We outsource the powder cone, but you can do powder cone. Like if you want to bring your powder cone your own wheels, we can do that.
Do rebuilding on
we got-
multi-piece wheels as well.
3-piece wheels, 2-piece wheels.
Wire wheels. We even
dang.
wire wheels. We even do
I was wondering about that.
We don't really deal with the wire part, but we can true out the steel. We can work with it. We can reseal them as well. Those get dirty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We can do it.
Low
To clean
riders,
those are-
low riders, all those vehicles.
We also have a source to make white walls bigger, as long as you have as long as you have a white wall tire.
Yeah.
I think they're still around.
Yeah.
But we have that. We have a source for that
Oh,
too.
that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, normally come like a little half-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make
guys-
it bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger. Yeah.
And
So
That's cool.
What's the most popular car you guys deal with over here that come out here?
Nowadays we do a lot of Tacomas,
A lot of
Lot of
Toyotas.
Tacomas?
A lot of Toyotas. A whole lot of Toyotas. and
Silverados, and
third gens, right?
We do a lot of Raptors
They're
too,
gens.
right?
Yeah.
Boss?
for today, Ford F-250s, stuff like that. Big.
Yeah.
The common trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a Golf today. Turned out pretty cool with BMW wheels on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So the BMW now they have the what is it, 17 and newer, something like that. But they're
The
transitioned over to
5112 bolt pattern.
5112 bolt pattern.
Oh, so they swap them over to Volkswagens.
Yeah. So he was pretty stoked about it because the offset was a plus 25, and that car is like a 35, 38.
Yeah.
So it's
So we thought it was
plus
going to stick
25
out.
is when it goes in, right?
Goes
The
out.
lower the number, the more it'll stick out.
And then negative is
It'll tuck in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lower number,
Bigger lip.
the lower the number of the offset. The offset, if the offset's lower, it'll stick out more.
okay.
So that car was like a 35, 40 maybe offset,
Good.
and it was an E too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It was on a Golf.
it was a Golf E. It was pretty dope.
Nice.
So then, it was a 18-inch, 18, and it was like a plus 25.
It was
pretty
simple
neat.
little
That
outfit.
looked
It
good,
looked
pretty
pretty
good.
neat. Looked
Yeah.
pretty neat.
I like when they do that, when they put BMW wheels on Volkswagens or Audis.
Yeah.
Like Audi wheels on Volkswagens.
So that's like when you say, "Hey, wait, man, come, if you give us a call, like, hey, well, come down." Well, if we tell you to
Yeah.
come down, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So
unfortunately, we don't have time to do FaceTime with everybody and
Yeah.
walk the back. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if we tell you, "Hey, man, just make time. We're open 6 days a week. Come on
Yeah.
down," and yeah, it's both of us here, and
So you guys are closed
be
Sundays?
nice. Yeah. Don't give them any ideas.
I heard you can make more money on Sundays.
yeah.
Some days are
kidding.
family days.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So you guys what about tires? I know you guys can help repair some tires, right?
Yeah, your normal repairs, patches and stuff. We don't really do too much weird
Yeah.
repairs and stuff. Liability.
No, yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
you know,
You guys sell tires too, right?
yep,
You guys
all of them.
okay.
Any kind of tire. If
So you
it's
guys-
made, we can get it.
What do you guys like to sell? Like,
Yeah,
what's the tire you guys
What's
always
what you
recommend?
Yeah.
It depends on the vehicle. Right now, I like Toyos right now for like trucks.
Toyos are good.
Toyos are good for trucks.
Toyos, Nittos. There's a brand club like Hercules. I like Hercules, American made.
Yeah, he likes
Okay.
It's a good
Hercules
value.
right
I
now.
think it's a good value.
I've seen those.
Yeah, because their warranty is really good. They got road hazard.
Yeah.
They cover you with no charge.
Damn, I have to look at that.
Yeah.
And those are truck tires?
But we literally
Everything.
sell every single
Oh, yeah.
brand out there. So
Yeah.
I've done this too long. It's just I have just too many.
Yeah.
Not only Goodyear.
Not only good.
Good year only.
We hardly even move the Goodyear, honestly, to be honest.
I don't think most people do anymore. They're too expensive and they're not as.
They're a decent tire.
There's quite a few
but
people.
It's just that their designs are not necessarily
Yeah.
that popular.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The design.
I think they stayed to their old stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually I
Don't have,
see
like, nice.
OEM.
Yeah, it's mostly
Off-road.
correct. It's
no.
mostly only
Usually I see MTRs. A lot of rock crawlers love
Oh, I had
MTRs with a
Goodyears
Kevlar.
MTRs.
Yeah,
I think they got rid of one
they're
of
just
their ones.
they're
too.
just expensive.
Yeah, they are.
I had the
Real
MTRs
expensive.
on the
Now
diesel.
they have the RTs.
So we have a bunch of viewers and they always listeners and they always tell us about KO2s. You know, it's always a thing with us with KO2s.
I heard
you know?
that last
Yeah. So it's not the first time people always talk about it, and there's always mixed reviews. KO2s suck. You know, there's issues with them in the rain, and then there's other ones where KO2s have never failed me. They've been great in snow and water.
Yeah.
Since you guys are a tire shop, what do you guys think about KO2s?
Well, I heard your guys' conversation on your last podcast, and in regards to like the ride, on the 285 70 17, you guys can find those in I
Everywhere.
took a little gander, and you have the 10-ply.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe your ride was much better than he can have a P metric or a 10-ply tire.
And that's a big thing too. A lot of people getting into it end up with a P because it's a cheaper tire.
Yep.
I always every tire I get, I get E because
E-rated,
I'm doing rock crawling and I'm doing major stuff, and I don't want to be. I've seen people with C's. They're not that popular anymore, but they do get punctures out in the desert.
And we even pay attention to that. Even when a customer comes in, we
What are you gonna use?
kind of see their style, their truck, how's it look. That's something I'll take in mind.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'm not gonna sell this guy a P metric tire, man.
So the first thing is to advise the customer.
And that too.
You advise the customer.
Let them know
this is
why.
What's going to happen if you choose these tires? This is what's going to happen if you choose the wrong tire. But the customer makes his decision. But the BFGs they're nice quality, but I think it's kind of overpriced for what it is.
Yeah.
Really?
And then so if it's not necessarily a new modern, like a really modern designs. I think that the Toyos and Ninos have actually nicer tread patterns.
Yeah.
Facts.
And
That's true.
So I say they've been over. In my personal opinion, they've been overrun by.
Because the KO2s have been out since.
I had Nitto
90s,
representatives. Guys that work at Nitto, the Toyos, which is the same company, and they literally come over here. Literally came over here and ask you, "Hey, what do you think about our lineup? How's this cut? They actually want feedback from us and I tell them straight up, And I remember they came once and I told them, you know what, you need to come up with something different than all-terrain. This is one that was only all-terrains and mud-terrains.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the
with the RT.
the Nitto Ridge line.
Mud.
Nitto Ridge line.
The Ridge,
And then they have the RT
the mud
trails.
grappler they have.
So they listen. So and I think BFGs are the kind of
Big old school.
They're okay.
Yeah.
I think the pattern's outdated.
They came out with a KO3.
That's a little bit better. It looks better. But
Yeah.
the KO2s, man,
It's the same.
I geek
style.
out on the actual tread and looks. And I'm like, they don't look like they're gonna clear out water. They don't look like they're gonna grip that. Maybe they do in some cars.
Yeah.
But
I will give them props though on the KTs.
Yeah.
they have a KT.
They have a KT. It's a kick-ass commercial tire, man.
I'm pretty sure they do. But I'm talking about KO2s.
I use.
So KOT, just KO2 is actually literally this.
I'm a fan of KO2.
But so it'd be the KO3 that
KO3s
came out.
it looks better now.
I've had a KO2s on almost all my trucks, even
I've had
my
them.
Expedition. I didn't have them on the diesel, but I've had them on the Toyotas, and they work great. And that's why we have mixed feelings. Here.
Yeah.
I drove
Billy
in
G
traffic.
doesn't like them.
Yeah, I drove in traffic daily.
Robbie C likes them.
I have
Falcon.
Well,
They're still a kick-ass tire. They're still a kick-ass brand. They've been
I've had
around,
them. I had them on my car, my 4Runner, my wife's Lexus, and I've had them on the Tacoma, and I hated them on the Tacoma.
Okay.
They suck. That was like back in 2018 or 17. But then they work great on the 4. Same thing, E-rated, same size, 285.
Probably different compound too or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was just because the truck is lighter in the back
maybe
or
the
what.
truck is lighter.
There's little differences here and there. But like I said, I hear guys say like, "Oh, they suck in snow." I've took them in snow and I haven't had issues with them. But I hear from other people. I don't know. It's just like people say, 4Runners suck. Get a Pathfinder or
That's
vice
what happened
versa.
with Falcon, dude. I took a risk on them. I'm like, no, I'm gonna try the Falcons. You know what? They seem built right. I looked at the tread pattern. Some people like them. Like, dude, they've been great. Like I've had them over.
They've
5
stepped
years,
it up.
man.
Yeah.
Maybe back
Especially
in
with the different tread designs they offer now.
Yeah.
The Ruby Trek, the
But
RTO1.
now they're heavy. I'm like, oh man. So now I'm looking for a different tire. But dude, they've been took them to Mojave, 5-year-old tires.
Nice.
To Mojave, nothing. No chipping, no braking, nothing.
No tear, none of that.
Nothing, bro.
There you go.
Solid. I'm like, dang, E-rated. But I mean, that could be another reason. But now I'm looking at a different tire. I'm like, should I get the RT and the Falcon, or should I give a different brand a try? And again, they were cheap. They were literally the cheapest option I can get.
They're well priced. They're pretty fair.
Not anymore. Now they're going up, but still, they're still fairly priced. I think.
It's all Japanese quality is always it's quality is always there. Quality.
This is what I was weighing it to. KO2, looking at them, and I'm like, and then just hearing like the Tacoma sucked, and just other people, either you're for them or not. It's like, but me, I'm looking at the tread design. I'm like, that's outdated. That's not.
Correct. It's
not-
the same tread pattern it's been
Yeah.
since,
Just the
bro.
sidewall is
since
different.
KO1.
since the chaos.
And that was my experience with the Chaos on the Bronco. They sucked. I'm like, dude, they have no grip. Off road on the dirt, maybe, but in the water on the road.
I'm excited to move those KM3s though.
I believe
Those
the
look way more
KM3. I think it's what.
Oh, I had KM3s before on my rock crawler. Those tires are great.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they're still.
Yeah,
that brand's still a kick-ass tire, but they're all turns.
I remember
But that KMs.
I just get feedback from customers, all this time doing it. And I had this customer who owned a house down like Puerto.
The guy in the Ford?
By Rosary. No, not Rosary. By Loreto, somewhere.
That Ford truck? He came in the Ford truck?
Yeah, and Skeeter.
Okay, yeah.
And I mean, hey, Skeeter. And I remember I sold him, I forgot what brand it was, and I was trying to talk him out of the PFGs. And I sold him some other brand and ended up buying some other brand, and he literally wore him off like in a month.
Dang.
What?
Yeah, he goes and comes a lot. Yeah.
Because he says where the road he needs to go through.
The terraceria.
It's all
Like lava
rock,
Yep.
whatever.
That's what chewed up my tires. Lava.
And he came in and says, "Don't sell me anything that's not BFG KM3."
Yeah. Stuck on those.
Tried and tested, man. Well, yeah.
Wow.
And then you guys were talking also about sizing the other night too.
Yeah.
I kind of learned that first experience. We have a customer here that owns some restaurants, and he's been loyal to that F-150. And we put the Toyos on, and it was a big difference. Same size tire, remember?
Yeah.
On the F-150, 35s. Remember, I put the Toyos RT Trails, but then he had the KM2s. The restaurant owner right here in Coronado.
Okay, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it was a big difference.
So the sizes were the same.
We went back to his BFGs. Yeah.
The sizes are the same, but the dimensions after you put them on.
Some are like half-inch taller.
Dude.
Some
I know BFGs are smaller.
So what I learned was tread depth.
Yep.
Oh.
And that's the one thing I like about
That's when I learned tread depth.
the Falcons and the Coopers.
It could be the same size, but your tread depth completely fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my Toyos, the mud trains, they're
Look at that.
tall.
Those are kick-ass.
Those are tall. Like the when you get them new, they're tall.
I think those
they
are
last a good time. I think I like those tires.
Just so you know, I'll make a note of this. Whenever you guys have mud terrain tires, you want to make sure you bounce those tires often. Okay, and you want to make sure you have good shocks. Because a lot of guys, they buy new tires,
a lot of wear,
and they overlook all the suspension components like ball joints and all that. If your vehicle has over 100,000 miles, you got to make sure all that's good. Spend your money first on your suspension before you spend it on tires.
That's why those mud trains always have scallops on them.
Yep.
Every time I walk by and I'll look at a truck and I'll look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, their ball joints are fucked.
And they need to rotate.
My diesel had them bad.
Yeah,
Scallops.
and that's why they sound so loud on the freeway too.
They're not loud, dude. The Toyos are not
No,
loud.
when they get scallops.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's called cupping, the actual term. So you wanna like I said, it's just like I said, it's very important that all your suspension components are good.
Yeah.
And I learned that. I know my 4Runner outside. I got suspension in there and everything.
Yeah.
And right before I did anything,
You aligned it.
I did a lot of good suspension work.
It has ball joints, tie roddings, stabilizing bars, stabilizing bar links, bushings, all that.
Yep.
All that's got to be good. If that's not in order for vehicle to drive perfect, all those components have to be.
Yeah.
They help suppress.
Yeah.
I got a question. Do you guys check suspensions?
Yes.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, on my truck. Because after every use, I mean, I've done the Mojave twice, and every time I come back, I feel like something's loose.
Oh, like a non-bolt check?
Yeah, nothing bolt check.
It would probably just be like bushings too. Just
we can we can tell you what's going on with suspension.
Oh, nice.
We check in.
That's good to know because it's true. I mean, you want all aligned, or else you're gonna beat up your tires.
I mean, that's what I do. I get underneath and just retorque stuff,
Tighten
double check
everything
things.
down.
Yeah.
Random.
But you need a lift. You need a lift though.
All right.
You need a lift to like keep them in the air because then you can move them,
Correct.
shake them.
Shake things around.
Well, there's tricks. You don't have to lift it up in the air, especially if you're checking ball joints. 'Cause you can get the tire up on one side and you can use a pry bar.
Yeah.
And then you can check to see
But that's
if
not
it's
the
the
right
back
way
fork.
to
Yeah,
do
it
it.
is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, you have to jack up the truck.
It's cool. Yeah,
Okay.
especially
You have to jack up the truck and have
because
it
if you
on
get
all fours.
you can check for play on the tie rod insoles.
Yeah, left
Because
and
if
right.
you move one, the other one's not gonna move because it's on the ground. So if you have the whole truck up, Yeah, you can do one side, and the other side will move.
Well, it has to do on the type of suspension too. So
Yeah.
kind of right. So
Or it could be your hub bearing. No, shit.
That's
Wait,
it.
hey, say that again.
Flex
Then
capacitor.
Can you tell him again?
Maybe?
I'm right.
So wiper bearing.
No, you're wrong. You're still wrong.
both of you are correct.
Blinker
Like I said,
fluid.
it'll vary according to the type of suspension. Like if you have a F250,
Yeah, the solid axle
Yeah,
compared
the
to
solid
an
axle.
independent
It's
front
gonna be
suspension.
different,
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you move, your tie rods.
yeah, you want to look for
Move
play.
one-
You want to
yeah.
look for play whenever.
But if one's
Yeah.
on the ground, you're not gonna find it because the
well,
other
like I said,
one's
it
not
depends on
moving.
the suspension.
Yeah.
So it varies. But
It's a guess for both, right?
But if you have it helps.
Process
a lot when you have-
elimination.
When you have a
Start
lift,
that way.
it's a lot easier. You know,
Yeah.
just press a button, it goes.
Yeah. Right, dude. You can't beat a lift.
Can't beat a lift.
But
yeah.
that's good.
It's a man's dream.
That's good to
dude,
know.
have a
Oh
lift.
yeah, lift. But that's good to know that you should always check your suspension before you buy new tires and new rims to make sure you're not gonna wear them out.
We look at like that's pay attention to detail. I always when people come in, I look at their tire pattern right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
Well, if it's a
The
newer
tire wear
vehicle,
pattern.
it's newer vehicle because we service a lot of dealers. Most of our customers are dealers, by the way.
Oh yeah, if you guys if you guys have a
car
resale,
dealers.
we accept resells and
Oh, nice.
business
There you go.
resells and come on down. You get tax free.
Most of
There
our
you go,
customers
there you
back
go.
then, some of my best customers been dealers, but I used to have dealers that would tell me, pick up 10 cars and put on wheels.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They also, it's just like any. To get them to pay a lot of times, you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
chase the money.
yeah. But yeah. So I'm getting sidetracked. What were we talking about?
Yeah, just inspection on
About
vehicles.
KO2s?
And the KO2s.
Yeah, you wanna
KO booze.
Yes, spend your money wisely, and get your suspension checked before you spend $2,000-3,000 on wheels. Because nowadays that's pretty much the average
Yeah.
ticket, $2,000-3,000.
You can really kill your tires fast if they're not balanced.
Or aligned.
And we get our customers also. We tell them you need to get aligned, and they let it go, and a month later, you sold me some car.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. It was alignment. That's called negligence, and that's not going to be covered by the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we have like this little sentence sometimes, of force a habit of saying where you tell them, you're super confident. You can't just be like, oh, do we tell them? But no, kind of like close the deal a certain way
Yeah.
just to advise and let them know, or make notes on the invoice.
Yeah, it's basically a disclaimer, just like we deal with.
Disclaimer.
I deal with customers, so we have to give a disclaimer when we call them out. Hey, this is Guillermo on the recorded line for quality and training. We have to say that every time, or risk a fine.
We still don't know what Guillermo does.
Risk a fine.
day.
I'm a manager, bro. I told you.
A manager of
130 people. That's what I'm a manager.
of many stuff.
Yeah, but back on that
Man,
BFG though,
oh.
I want to see those K03s because they have a different. They kind of have very similar tread, but
It's definitely
it has these little cuts that come
like-
across like a general grabber.
Yeah.
Side-
kind of like that little side, like
Yeah, we saw them several times. I thought they're
I've
nice.
seen them.
They're-
I've moved them once, but move a little bit more to see what's people
Yeah,
really
But the
think
thread
about
pattern.
So that's their new tire, right?
Yeah.
That's their new version
the
of the.
way different.
It's
Oh,
nice, but the
okay.
thread pattern seems they made it so it's quieter.
Yeah.
So when to make the thread pattern to the vehicle, the tire, because they do quality control on noise, for example. Spin the wheel to make and
Yeah.
test it for noise, right? How many decibels?
Yeah.
So no matter what, you want to make it quieter. You have the grooves have to be closer, narrower.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure they did a little bit of that, and the sidewalls a little nicer.
Yeah.
So it's a good tire. It's just that to me it's a little bit overpriced in comparison if you go to Falcon, Toyo.
Yeah.
What is, let's just, so me, I have a Tacoma, all right? I'm trying to upgrade my wheels. I want to do pizza cutters, what they call. So 255, 80, 17. I don't use my truck much, but when I do, it's probably going to be going with these
Off-roading.
guys, off-roading. But I do want to be able to drive in the street a little bit, so I always think like AT. Starting to look at more of a RT in a little bit. What would you guys recommend, man, right now if you had to pick a tire? I wonder if you guys have
Swampers.
tires?
Doing an RT, I give you an RT.
But what brand? There you go. Which brand?
The RT Trail from Toyo for me.
I personally
I've got
like
those personally.
The little ridge wrappers.
And yeah,
They have it
ridge
available.
wrapper?
On your size, I'm not sure they have it available though. The ridge wrapper, it's nice.
Okay.
Those RTs are like the newest thing, and they're
I was telling you guys
they're
about
selling.
that. RTs, man.
No, Chris has those.
I've
Yeah.
had them for about 2 years and they still look.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be legit. Yeah, it's like between the all
Like-
train and mud train. So
Yeah.
It's a rugged tread. What is rugged terrain? They call it rugged.
One of the
Yeah.
Rugged terrain, yeah.
That's another thing that BFG hasn't stepped up to jump in that lane too. You know, where Falcon and all the other companies, they got accommodate whatever you want, your use, and hopefully your size too. You know that too.
they do. No.
Cool.
I've done my research, man. I know.
I think Billy
Falcon
G should
has
go
it.
with
Cooper has it. A lot of it actually.
I think
Cooper's cool, man.
I think you should just throw some swampers.
What's it? The MT Max?
ST Max.
The STT.
No, those are just
STT Pros.
those are the mud trains.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the ST Max if anything, because I think those are like equivalent to a RT, but we'll see.
I say cookie cutter swampers.
Super swampers.
Yeah, or
I
what's
want a
those
light
tractor
tire that's
tires?
strong.
15x6.
Tractor
Oh,
tires.
the tractor tires. Those are big old
with
threads.
the big old.
You
You'll
get some
never run
17
out
by
of it.
6
only
wheels.
two that go like that.
Yeah.
The Cooper ST Max is the one that I found. It's kind of like a good balance. It's light. It's a little smaller diameter.
There's so many brands now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what.
Like
what
Cooper
I get.
came out of left field.
Yeah.
They got
Cooper's
good
been around
tires.
for a minute.
Cooper-
man.
Been
Cooper
around.
No,
was-
I know, but they weren't known for
Yeah,
off-roading.
In
Yeah.
Australia, they were.
Really?
Bro. Yeah, they've been.
I've
doing
never
it.
seen them.
They're
the world.
Yeah.
they were one of the first ones to do the rugged terrain style tire.
Yeah.
It was them and
But that's
Toyo.
recently.
No,
Toyo just brought out the rugged terrains
Bro.
not too long
then
ago.
it was Nito then, but it was Cooper and one other one. What in like 2013 or something like that? Because I had the ST Maxes.
Yeah, the ST Max.
Yeah,
based
my
on-
wife
on my
forerunner.
recommendation.
Yeah,
Kept telling you about them.
yeah. So they've
Crash
been
with
around
those
for a long
tires?
time. They were great tires.
You can look at the Mickey Thompsons too. Those guys are picking it up.
Yeah, those tires
they
are
got
looking
nice
great.
ones.
But what's the price
The
like?
EXP, they're cheaper than BFG.
Oh, what?
But
They have
Mickey Thompsons are
that
pretty.
new
darn
tire
cool.
they came out with the
check that
Baja. It's a Baja, but it's
Baja Bosses.
Baja Bosses.
Baja
Those
Bosses
expensive,
is-
bro.
no, yeah, it's a really nice tire. I get a lot of
Yeah.
compliments from customers.
Those are
They look
The
nice.
ATZs?
They're nice. They
The
look
Baja
dope.
Boss AT.
AT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those look
Those
dope,
look-
And also the
Yeah.
MT is also nice, very nice.
Those ATs are cheaper than the KL2s.
No, I don't think so, man. Are they?
KO2s are the high.
Depends on the size.
I think Toyos and BFGs are the highest, most expensive
Really?
tires.
Brother, ooh.
When I bought mine, they were cheaper than Toyos because I always got.
Oh
Toyos.
yeah, they are cheaper than Toyos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
they're pretty much all up there. But,
Yeah.
not there varies a few.
I think it was like $20
That was-
difference.
That's why I'm going for
That was like
the
the
heavy ass
tires.
Falcon. They're cheaper, but they're just heavy, so I'll probably end up spending more on gas anyways.
So basically, those are all these brands we're talking about. Mickey Thompson, Toyo, and BFGs. Those are all high end brands, and obviously the other sector of the market is the low end brands, which
Yeah.
is the Chinese
Still
brands.
kick ass though. There's some good ones
Chinese
out
brands.
there.
And
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking for, man.
we were
There's some
we were
good
talking
ones out
about
there.
that.
What's the cheaper
Wait, like
kick-ass
what?
one?
Like what good Chinese
what's
brands?
a
Because I
good
know you got
brand?
we're talking about Hercules, which is an American brand. I know
Yeah,
some people
so-
that run those.
So Hercules, I believe, still is owned by Cooper. And,
Yeah.
and Cooper, just so you know, it makes Mickey Thompson makes
Except
it's the largest manufacturer of tires in the United States.
Yeah,
Cooper tires.
Jericho
tire.
told you.
Yeah, but they're not old. I mean, well, they're
You just said it right
off-road
now.
ones.
They're the oldest ones.
They've been
No,
around.
They're all
off-road
brands.
ones?
They're all brands, but Toyo and Nitto are actually newer brands than Cooper. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So just, the Japanese brands are the Nitto, Toyo, Falcon, Yokohama, and Bridgestone. And then you have the Korean brands, Nexen, Kumo, and Hankook. And then
Those
you
are
have,
good brands. Too.
you've got Kenda, it's Taiwan.
Kenda's good.
It's pretty decent. But so what I call the low end are the Chinese brands. And if you... Can I mention any? I've been watching. On
Say
YouTube,
whatever you want, man.
This it's called China Fact Chasers.
Okay.
And
Wait.
Are they
mention
like?
that?
do
Can I
they-
mention
yeah,
that?
yeah.
I already said.
They could. Is it like something they compare?
Okay, so these I like the program because they show you everything that's going on in China, and you'll be amazed at all the corruption back there. And so I'm not saying all the tires they're decent. But I say quality control is not all there, and he knows because we probably nowadays it's gotten a little better.
Yeah, it's
but I remember on certain brand spanking new tires, put them on the balancer, spin them, and the tire's going up and down.
Yeah, we were-
It's
there's
out
stuff
of
we
round
won't.
tire. So you have to understand that when you air up a tire. We actually to air it, a lot of tires in order to air it up. A lot of times some tires are difficult to air up, right? And you have to air them up to like 60, 70 psi for it for the beat to seat, for the beat to seat, right?
Oh.
And so the tire, the trick about a good quality tire, it has to hold that perfectly round form at that certain pressure, right? Mm-hmm. And the Chinese tires will just be out around, out around brand spanking new tires.
Off the bat.
It's just like a slight little warp, you'll see that.
It's quality control.
And you can't fix that.
Okay, so I'm going to stay away from the Chinese brands right now, too.
But we are picky. Like, if we do offer you a Chinese brand, because we've been there, done that.
Correct. So if I remember the amps. I'm sure you guys remember amps. Some of the fuel tires. They have the new brand. So fuel, obviously, fuel. That's a name brand, but they have it's a name brand on wheels, but they outsource those tires, for another company. Maybe I should name it. Anyways, again, but anyways, they outsource those tires, and it's just I don't see the qualities there. Like I said, I will not anything that's China. I will not gamble so much with it.
Very few things, right? Things only.
I will not gamble.
Well, you said anything, so don't get no Chinese tires.
I would not recommend.
Hey, what's the brand we bought?
If you want quality, if you want, for example, if you're only concerned about the price, when you purchase something, you're only concerned about the price. Well, yes, China tire is probably going to be here, but I'm saying for a fraction more, there's a lot of brands that are, for a fraction little more of money, you can get a much nicer tire.
That's kind of what I was telling you guys, right? Like we spend so much money on tires. I always tell my wife that don't skimp. Few things in life you don't want to skimp on.
Yeah, correct.
Tires, jeans.
Yeah, I like your jeans, man. Yes,
you can't skimp on
that's
on
me.
those things, man. Because especially with tires, dude, so much is like it's
so much at stake.
Your life
you literally
is on the line, man.
That's true.
Your life is on this much of rubber.
Have you ever seen the contact patch on the road? It's like a little round circle, dude. That's all it really touches. Like it's
the more
tiny,
the more pressure you have, that contact patch.
And so that's why I'm saying where the KO2s.
Hey, have you heard of Accelera tires?
Yeah, Accelera.
What do you think about those?
It's I'm pretty sure China or Taiwan. Is that it's China? I'm pretty sure Indonesia or China. It's one of those.
No,
you don't like them?
No, they're not.
So I bought them for my MR2, and then because I drove them and I was like, oh, these feel nice, and I've had them for a while now. They feel nice, and I told him to buy a set.
But again, so I have on some of my vehicles, I'm cheap.
Yeah.
If on some of my vehicles, I don't mind throwing China tires. Why? Because I'm not concerned about the if it makes a noise. I'm not certain elements. I'm not concerned about.
Yeah.
If I'm actually want overall quality, I would not buy a China tire.
Yeah. My front tire has a little knock to it.
And I'll give you a good example.
Those are the new tires?
The brand new tire has a little knock. Why. So it's like if the seam, I noticed the seam.
How much did you really save though?
It's
That's
not.
what I'm saying.
Hold on,
worth
I'm
it?
talking.
Was it worth it?
I'm talking. Anyways, the seam is going across the tire, not like with the tire. So I think it's like off a little bit. So every time it goes on the freeway, I can hear.
Is it on your side, on the driver's side?
Yeah, on the driver's side.
Yeah, that's because of you, dude. Freaking man. You exceeded the load rating.
You got to peel out.
By like 2 pounds.
Yeah.
You got to do a couple burnouts.
It's kind of annoying. I'm already looking at different tires.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And how much did you really save, dude?
It's just that everybody obviously has their own budget. So
yeah.
So if you,
I think it was. I paid like $300
for all four.
So yeah, around $300.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I can see how you would want to skimp on that.
They're cheap.
So
it depends what you need them for. Like on some of my vehicles, I have mostly work vehicles, and I don't. I'm not concerned about when I'm driving. Probably the fastest I've driven is like 135 miles an hour. I'm not concerned. I'm not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put my life on a China tire at 135 miles an hour. But on a work vehicle, I'm going to drive it over 60. The price factor would be the determining issue.
Yeah, I've hit 110 in those.
Damn.
I did 135 on a. I like to publicize this.
Yeah.
Las Vegas to Chula Vista. 3.5 hours. I dare anybody to. Yeah. I dare anybody to beat that.
You know what?
No one tried. That's not worth it.
What car was it?
Not worth it. Don't try it.
Wait, were you in the Cannonball Run? No.
Yeah.
What kind of car was it in?
It was like, believe it or not, it wasn't even my car. It was back in once like,
So rental.
I was probably like 20 years old, and
Yeah, you can't do that no more. Not with all that traffic.
I did it like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, for sure.
And the reason I know for a fact is it was stick shift 318 BMW 318.
Oh,
my friends,
that was
all my friends were kind of passed out on the vehicle, and I like speeding, and I was
hauling ass.
He didn't want to fall asleep. That's what it was.
That must have been nice, though, dude. Because that's a car meant for that.
But it was stick shift. So when you on those BMWs, if you guys that have BMWs, a stick shift. If you go that, it has a governor, and if you go over 135 miles, it'll shut off. The whole vehicle will shut off completely. Wow. And so I was with stick shift. I had to just press the clutch and let
just
it go.
Feather it.
And you couldn't even feel that it would start. You just go clutch and it started up right.
Yeah,
that was wild.
And I did that like 4 or 5 times. So I was like 3.5 hours. I remember.
We used to street race. I used to street race on bald ass tires with wires hanging, bro. No, for real. And
back in the day,
one time when I was racing the motorcycle,
Sorrento Valley.
I forgot how much he said we hit, dude. It was either like 150s or 160. It was fast, dude. Because we're neck and neck through the motorcycle, and I'm like, dude. I had freaking bald ass tires, man. I could have died.
yeah.
Back then,
they were Eagle tires though, so I'm assuming Eagles were like
they're good.
Decent,
they're good tires.
so.
Yeah, good.
Z rated at the time. I forgot what rating they had, but it was like meant for a little bit higher speed than like a factory.
Yeah, but it's gotta be careful out there.
Yeah.
But that was back in the day. That was like way over.
That was back like when riding go karts with no seatbelts.
Yeah, there you go.
Everyone was a Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to change out those tires sooner than later.
Yeah.
Well, I know this place too that sells tires. It's called Wheel Zone. They sell wheels and tires, man.
Hey, send me their contact info.
Yeah.
They have all kinds of,
I do want to say one thing. Just shout out to Ben. Thank you, Ben, for introducing you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ben.
Ben
Over at
Hoppy
Happy
Days.
days.
Yeah, man. So thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Beto.
Good looking out.
Yeah.
That's Wheel Zone right here at 2284 Palm Avenue, right?
That's right.
Hey, there we go.
Open 6 days a week.
And if you go across the street to Armando's Taco Shop, just tell them Guillermo sent you.
Shout out Armando's Taco Shop.
They will not give you a discount. You just tell them that Guillermo sent you. So they give you a weird look.
Just so they might give
Just
you.
so they can give you that weird look.
Just give you that head nod.
Yeah. Whatever.
No discount, just so you know. But
It's fun.
Yeah, so that people always say, where you at? Maybe I should start saying that, cross street from Armando.
cross the street from
Yeah.
Armando's, man.
Instead of saying half a block east before the trolley tracks.
They've been there for like over 40 years.
Bro,
Really?
I'm telling you, they've been there for a while since I was a teenager.
I remember.
I was a kid.
The
21st
donuts across the street. Also, she's also been there. Over 30.
Yeah.
They're good too, man.
The same owner.
The same owner. Yeah, she's super nice.
My respects to her because she's there.
She's like Danny here at the tire shop every day, maybe even on a Sunday.
Well, I'm definitely glad that we ran into you guys. We met you guys because that's the one thing I'm kind of passionate about, changing
You're up
tires
next,
in the cars. Yeah, and I'm up
tires.
next. I have
Rims and tires.
2 cars that are gonna. Oh no, I just replaced on the RAV, so it's gonna be really my truck. I'm gonna try to get some wheels and some tires, because they're old, man. They're 5 years old. They're over 5 years old. Our daughter's 5 years old, and I remember changing out the tires in all the cars right before she was born. And I went next door, obviously not knowing that this was here. Knowing, but again, now that I know, it's there's experience. There's someone who actually cares and is passionate about it.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, not just the owner Danny, but Beto as well, right?
Pasarle con confianza, man.
Yeah, you're here for a minute. That gives me that confidence. I'm like, okay, cool. This is someone who's gonna.
Yeah, these guys will take care of you.
Yeah, take care of me. Not just that, but like I'm also want to help a local business. Somebody,
Yeah.
because that's really what you build that community and you help, and you're employing people here, right? You're paying taxes. You're helping maintain this. I'm not sure corporations, will use them, but no, definitely I enjoy supporting local and
support local businesses.
Yeah, it's gonna be the minivan's probably gonna be after that. Minivan's got some tires because we bought it to use minivan, but the tires are still okay right now. But yeah, as soon as they wear out, I want just some nice family tires. Maybe we'll get some wheels. Maybe we'll do some
red wheels.
some
We've done
cool
minivans.
wheels.
We've done
Some cool
minivans.
wheels,
Yeah.
So make it look cooler.
Yeah, we
You got to come in bold patterns,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you got options.
Dude, right there it says TRD. It's calling your name.
That's for the Tacoma. Yeah, no,
Tacoma right there.
I want those bead grips, which someone had told us in the previous podcast that their buddy works at commercial tire shop. That their buddy
Beat
said
grip
that.
on a minivan or
No. On the Tacoma.
On this Tacoma.
Hey, why not, man? Maybe air down, go off road. No,
You get some Pax tires on
right?
there.
But what do you just since we're on B grip technology? Do those rip up the tires?
Okay,
Or
Do they not?
no. So that's another
misconception?
misconception. The customer don't buy bead grips if you're not gonna
Give it use.
race basically race your vehicle. So bead grips, bead grip wheels are meant for racing.
No, bead lock or no.
But it's not bead lock.
No, bead lock, bead lock.
I'm sorry.
The method bead
okay,
grip.
sorry. Okay, basically,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. So bead grips, yeah. So they're nice, but those are intended to like if you go to sand
Yeah,
dunes, whatever,
deflating.
you can lower your air pressure to up to 10 psi.
Yeah.
And it will not debead.
That's what I want.
They will not debead. You need a machine to debead that wheel.
Yeah.
Or the tire.
Oh, I can't use my tire spoons.
Screwdriver, the screwdriver like back in the day as a kid.
they
even
really
when
did- they
even
did
when the
work.
machine is difficult, when the mounting machine is
really?
Yeah.
difficult. Yeah.
That's what I heard. That's the one thing. Yeah, you have to.
Well, they were telling
There's
us
a lot
that
of
when you
lube.
take them off, it tears up the tire.
It doesn't make
no,
sense to me, dude. Yeah, that,
Yeah.
It's got to be like an old ass tire.
Probably
yeah,
dried up
old
ass
dry.
tires.
Yeah, because
No.
think about it.
Never had armor on in its life.
It has to have all that pressure. It has to have all that flex when you're driving. And if it rips that easy, then that's probably not a good tire. But
Yeah, it's an old tire.
Right.
so maybe that's experience. You know, their friend.
I think I want to go
Changing out
with
real
B
old-
grips. They look cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got good style for your land.
Only on the methods, only the 7 series are bead grip.
Yep.
So, isn't there another company that has a like kind of a B grip technology?
KMC Lobo, that wheel specifically. I don't know which other ones, but they have like their own
Yeah, there's very few. There's
bead non-slip. But I don't know if the back part is the same thing as like the bead grips. I just know like the front has like a little extra like crosshatch. So that's another one that was entertaining because they are
Oh, I
cheaper.
didn't know that.
They're cheaper.
So
Then
it's
the
kind of like the same
method.
concept as a B
Yeah,
grip.
a couple companies
Oh.
have it. Like I
didn't
know
know.
for sure KMC with a Lobo wheel, and then the Method 700 series. And I'm looking at the Method because that's like the first one I saw. But I'm like, man, I wonder if the Lobo looks pretty dope. It's like a
KMCs look
a
nice.
star. Yeah,
I like how they
They're
look.
What's it
cheaper.
called? The KMC Lowboy?
Lobo like wolf.
Oh, okay.
KMC Lobo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KMC makes
And
nice
so
ones.
it has
Yeah,
like
they're-
a anti-bead slip technology
Yeah.
as well. Cheaper than the Method, man. I'm like, man, I might get something like that. I just don't know. Here's the thing. The offset I need to use, I'm not super familiar with that stuff.
Let us take care of that.
But
Yeah.
Don't break your head.
So on method, we
Choose
just
what
so
you
know,
like
we-
and your
we,
tire as well, and we'll take care of the little
The sizing.
the little big stuff.
on the pricing, just so you know, we tend to buy for our inventory. We buy when there's blowouts. So like certain models are on sale, and that's when we stock them. And if you were to need one of those wheels, so we can beat pretty much anybody's price as long as we have it in inventory. It's usually cheaper than most places.
Okay.
Yeah, we say that with confidence.
oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm definitely gonna
Because
come here. Like I said,
we don't purchase inventory at full price.
Yeah.
Basically, we want to make sure we got a good deal to pass on the
Competitive, yeah.
savings.
Yep.
So that's important to be
know.
competitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll bring business. I know I already brought.
I need some 17.
You already brought yourself.
Tire.
I
I brought my
What-
truck.
17
My
six
tire.
lug. What's my lug pattern size?
6, 5 and a half.
6 and
Yeah,
130.
6.5 at 0 offset, right?
That's
Correct.
right there, man. Especially with the cookie cutters.
Do you want to stay
fire.
at 8.5? What Tacoma? You said?
Yeah, 8.5. Those, I want the
don't
thinner
go
one.
nines.
I won't. I will not. I want to do that.
That's wide, right? Wider.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I want to stick as close to stock as possible with the offset, and I think 0 was
But
the
cookie
closest one I
cutter.
can get.
Yeah. But you don't want them tucked in, do you?
It's not gonna tuck in. It still goes out
Oh,
a
it's-
little bit
okay.
because it's 8.5.
Not-
and the
yeah,
back
it's
is
not
like
too
7.5.
I
aggressive.
like sticking out.
Nah, I'm good with that.
That's-
Yeah, I'm about functionality.
If he wants form and function, I love those
But
two words.
as long as it looks
Form
great,
and
man,
function.
dude, that's what I want. And the methods
Yeah.
seem to do that. Form,
Yeah.
function, and they look
That'll
great.
look nice.
That's where I'll spend my money. Otherwise, just because it looks nice, I'm not gonna do it.
Sounds
I'll
like
keep the
he's
factory.
decided.
I know.
Oh,
dude.
I'm
Yeah.
100%
Hey,
excited.
the card reader's right there. Just put your card on it.
Yeah,
We got Snap, we got SEMA if you want to,
Yeah.
we got financing too.
Oh no,
It's
man.
like, it's like that one video where they
So, I was.
they slide by and then they get new wheels and
I have the money saved up for them, and I'm just holding off because we're gonna do the suspension,
lift.
the lift in the truck.
Oh, that's right.
weekend.
This
Yeah,
weekend.
this
Finally.
Hopefully, if
What'd
it's
you
not
guys get
raining.
on that?
It's not gonna rain.
I'm gonna put a Ironman suspension,
Okay.
Ironman Form Cell Pro. Again, I was doing my research, practicality, non-nitrogen.
Geeking
charge.
out.
Yeah, geeking
Right?
out, what I call it.
Geeking out.
So it's
Pulling your hair.
yeah, right. But yeah, there's non-nitrogen charge, so I don't have to worry. I can rebuild it myself if I need to. So that's the way I think. I'm more of that, and I like something that looks nice, but I need it to function first and then give me benefits.
You got some longevity too.
So
Huh?
you need wheels with benefits.
Yeah, exactly. Wheels with benefits. Sorry, honey, if you're listening. But yeah, man. So that's why those interested me. And again, like I mentioned, the KMC Lobos were the other ones. And yeah, this is gonna be the spot I'm gonna come to. So
What color?
dude, honestly, dude,
Silver.
no silver.
Finish.
I'm
Black,
probably gonna
gold.
do bronze.
Bronze? That'll
Yeah.
look cool.
What color is your truck?
It's silver. So I mean, it's
It's a
just
neutral
something
color.
different,
Man.
yeah.
Hey, they don't have it in polished.
yeah, they
The
do.
Beetle- that's what you should do.
Machine finish.
Machined,
I
yeah.
want machine
Machine's
finish,
coming
too.
back, right?
I love it.
Yeah,
I like that.
I
That's
want
what I
that
want.
because again, the thought is if I get a scratch, it's less noticeable on
Oh yeah, just go look at my rings outside. They're black and they're all scratched
Oh,
up.
yeah, versus the broad. So that's again my other thought too. But yeah, man, I'm glad that we have somewhere, or at least I have somewhere I can come to now, because I don't feel comfortable going to say like a discount tire and asking them.
Yeah.
I look at them like, man, I'm pretty sure.
You
know,
have to understand, those places, the sales guys are there
yeah,
to sell.
for commission.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed. They're actually really well trained.
yeah,
But they're also training really good to sell.
yeah.
So they get kickbacks from big corporations. They get kickbacks from the
Heck
big.
yeah.
For example, and I'll give you a simple story. Once got a lady, like, probably in her 70s, maybe 80s, 70s. I'll say 70s, and she came out. Had a little Corolla, Toyota Corolla, and she said, "Oh, I came to." She got a quote from Discount, and I said, "Okay, so what do you need?" Well, I'm looking for these same tires. I want to know what's your price on them. And I asked her, what kind of car you have? And he says, "Oh, Corolla." Okay, well, why do you want Michelin on a Corolla? This expensive Michelin on a Corolla.
Yeah.
He says, "This is 3 times as much as what your vehicle needs. You can buy a Toyo, or you can buy a Falcon, or even the for that small of a car.
Yeah.
Even the China brands are
Yeah.
probably, you don't need that much tire.
Yeah.
You know, and you're gonna spend she was gonna spend, like, this back then. This is already a while ago, like $800, $900 on tires on a Corolla.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And,
a lot.
and so I told him,
That's some love.
and the reason she said, "Well,
Corolla.
give me the reason. Why did the sales guy offer you this tire?" He says, "Oh, he told me it had to be a Z-rated tire."
Dude, how much horsepower does she have?
Right?
So I asked her, "Why would he offer you a Z-rated tire when your car doesn't? I know you're not gonna drive over 135 miles an hour."
Yeah.
You know,
145
Z-rated
miles.
speeds.
So this doesn't make sense. I told her it seems very clear that they just want to sell you the most expensive tire they have, because obviously the guy's gonna get a kickback out of
Probably
that.
in stock too. That's all they had.
Yeah.
And told him,
gotta
you
make
don't
a
need to
big
spend more money than this. It says, well, and she was stubborn, and she still went back to Discount and buy this tire.
Good sales
And I
guy.
tried. And I have customers. I prove them, and they come and they would actually listen to me, and I know I had customers. I've probably saved them $400 or $500 on a purchase. And they come like that from another store, and they say, I got this quote, and so I tell them, you can get the same. And I tell them, look at the UTQG number, okay? It tells you that it's an indicator of the thread. You need remember the UTQG number, you multiply times 150, and it gives you the mileage on that tire, how long it lasted when they tested that tire. Right,
And they tested like if it was in a perfect world too.
yeah. So they tested on the one speed, one temperature, and all that. So obviously the tires are gonna wear according to if you live in where you live. If you live in TJ or in San Diego, that's a factor.
Or El Centro.
Driving habits. Driving habits have to do a lot. Like how fast you press on the gas and all that. But it's indicator. Obviously, the higher the UTQG number, the longer it's going to last. And then you look at temperature and traction, right? And it's a good guideline to understand on understanding how long those tires are going to last for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just overlook them. And for example, that lady, she was buying a 200 thread wear,
That's another, like a 240.
Yeah, like a
Dummy
yeah.
tire.
Versus a 5, we can buy some up to 540, 500 thread wear. Obviously, the 500 thread wear is going to last more than twice as much than.
Yeah.
And some people listen to me and they say, okay, well, once I explain to them, and then they're okay, well, by the coin, I do get a lot of customers that show up and say, "Oh, thank you for recommending me these tires," and they actually turn out pretty.
And another thing too is sizing. Like there's some sizing that the tire manufacturer will make that size because they know where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
But
So like for example, a lot of vehicles so the manufacturer would, for example, in order for them to be able to sell the vehicle, they'll offer a small size tire so when they test the vehicle for MPGs, miles per gallon, they say, well, this car gives it's 25 miles a gallon with that small little dinky tire.
Yeah.
Right?
We can also recommend like a little bigger.
But with the right size tire, the one that actually looks decent on this vehicle.
Fills it up nice.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that many MPGs, right? So that's another factor. So.
That happened to me at discount where they try to upsell me, and I was like, no, I did my research. I got for the RAV, I got some Cooper tires, and I did research. I'm like, okay, I should get the mileage, and they're like, no, you should. They were recommending these aren't the factory ones. You'd want. I think it was Michelin's that they came with first, and they're expensive. I'm like, dude, no, I'm gonna get these. Got them, dude. No issues. Like those Michelin's I had to replace, they wore out fast, dude. Flat tires. I'm like, nope. Once I went to those Coopers, great in the rain, just like they lasted the whole time. So I know about the upselling that they'll try to do sometimes.
So you have to understand. So what I tell customers is that you don't want to buy tires just because they're more. People think because they're spending. It's just like anything. If they're spending more, people think if they're spending more, they're automatically getting more bang for your buck. It's not like that on tires.
No.
Okay? It has to do with the specs on the tire, right? It tells you on the tire, right? And according to what you need it for example, you come in a Porsche 911 or whatever. I'm not obviously not gonna offer you the China tire, right? And obviously if you say I had customers stop by and tell me I drive fast. I want tires going to handle it. Okay, this is what you need, right? Yeah. You can't. I'm not going to offer the 50,000 mile tire on a Porsche, right? So and I'm not going to offer the China tire
on that one.
You're not going to put acceleros on the Porsche.
Z, right?
Everybody run.
And then that's another thing.
I had a customer. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I had a customer. I kid you not, a McLaren. Because we also sell used cars. A McLaren, I kid you not.
I remember that.
It's a $400,000 car.
Yeah.
Okay. And he bought it salvage, but it's still $4,000.
Yeah.
It was almost brand new. And he says, "Oh, I need a tire for it." Okay. So you know what? I got a Michelin. I happen to have a Michelin. It's almost brand new. It's used, but it's brand new. Mm-hmm. And I told him that's because the size he needed, right? I told him it's gonna be I told him $200 tire, $100 I'll let you have for $180 whatever. And he says no, I'm looking for a $40 tire.
What?
My God.
So
on a McLaren?
I actually do that when I'm out and about.
Wait a minute.
Damn.
You have
See
a
beautiful cars.
$400,000 car and you want a $40 tire?
It tells a lot by the owner, man.
Wow.
It's like, that's a badass car. And then
They
you see a
don't.
shitty
They
tire.
don't know, and that's something like my wife. She would buy the cheapest tires. I'm like, they like Chinese. Like I don't even recognize this brand. I don't know what's gonna happen. Sure enough, maybe last a year, 2, just either bulging on the side, random, right, or popping. I'm like, these are like the one things we would not skimp. Just you don't want to spend a bunch, but you got to be smart about okay. Does it value, right? Like you were saying, KO2s are overpriced. Yeah, they are. There's probably better values out there for the price, for the money. That's what I would go for. And, circle back. That's how I fell into the Falcon. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a good value at the time. I'm thinking about switching it up now, see what else is out there for me.
PFG is a nice quality. It's just that I think the prices are
So,
and why is it's a French brand? It's owned by Michelin.
I wanna know what happened with that guy with the McLaren. He won the $40 tire. He
ended up buying like a $150. He still ended up buying a used tire.
Yeah,
and a McLaren.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, walk around on those beautiful cars. When you see like a Chinese tire, then you give it like a okay owner. That's
owner.
the type of owner.
Yeah.
Like whooshy, and like some random brand.
And now that's what happens. Customers also go up. They buy these expensive wheels, and then they want used tires, or they want some China tire. I tell you, it should be the opposite. You should, on a nice car, you want a nice tire.
Yeah.
Maybe not be so concerned about the wheels.
The wheel, yeah.
And everybody's different.
Yeah.
But we do have that option, sometimes, it all depends, I think the wheels, they come and they don't really, they come and go, but if you like sold on a set of wheel, we'll get them. But if you want to save a couple bucks, be like, all right, get some tires.
There's options.
Yeah.
And, thank goodness we got used tires and, later on save a couple bucks and get the new ones. But at least you have the wheels that you want,
That's what we used to do because we were broke, dude, right? Coming up. So we would go to these tire shop and like, hey man, I want the best one for my money.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, that's why I had Eagles. Those Eagles were great, man. They were I won them till they were bald, bro, but they never like failed on me. I'm like, thank goodness.
I won races on wires.
I swear, dude, that's exactly how it was. Won races on wires,
Well,
dude.
yeah, it was my burnout tires.
You'll see sparks, man. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Well, we're getting near the end. Do you guys have any last questions for the Wheel Zone?
What would be your all-terrain go-to right now?
they just told you.
Tire? Yeah, I'm a Toyo Nero guy.
Dang.
Toyo Needle.
Tell you
It's that
no.
kind
Yeah, those guys are
of
kicking butt.
no-brainer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not KO.
that's good to know.
KO. Boom.
There's other brands too that are good, like General, Mickey Thompson.
Yeah.
There's so many new brands now.
So
Well, what about
Not as
for
many as
street cars?
wheels. I think the market on, for example, wheels has gone exponentially bigger than in comparison to tires. Right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because now, just so you know, I had my own brand,
Yeah, he did.
my own brand of wheels.
Hey,
really?
look at that, man.
Yeah, I was the first one. This is back in 2004, 2005. I came out with the wheel brand was Toxic.
What?
Toxic wheels for Mustangs.
I remember those.
The Mustangs, they look like
And,
saline, but
yeah.
20 staggered.
I had literally back then I was single and I literally had
A Mustang.
I had my garage.
Oh, yeah, I
my
remember
garage
this
was
one.
packed full. I had so many. I had
Wheels?
thousands of those wheels.
That,
Oh shit.
Yeah,
and it was a good seller, but it's just that, it's difficult to a lot of when you because I had them outsourced obviously and
Yeah.
they were made in Taiwan, and but quality was really nice. I still have some, but I think I have like 2-3 sets left. But anyways, I was trying to get at I'm trying to got sidetracked on that. That you want to make sure that we got sidetracked.
no. We were talking about you had your own brand. You were talking
Yeah,
about Toxic
so I
Wheels.
had it animate. It's just that a lot of money goes on the marketing, and it gets difficult to move.
But you sold almost all of them then, right?
Yeah.
You only have three sets left.
It was like it looked very similar. So it was see back then on the Mustang the biggest wheel was 18-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and be on the 2004 model, 2004 and older model, and on the newer models, they had to be a 20-inch wheel for the 2005 and newer model.
Yeah.
And I had it's a 5-spoke design, nice and simple design, and I made a stagger setup. And
The width made the setup nice.
Yeah.
9s and 10s.
And it was a very nice wheel. I'm still proud of that design. It kind of helped design the wheel. And
Yeah.
Well, many people could say they designed their own wheel.
I've never made a wheel manufacturer. or
It's just that
someone who had their own brand.
so
That's
and there you're playing with the big ballers basically, and you
Yeah.
have to compete with the big manufacturers, big distributors, and obviously the big distributors that have the marketing, they have everything all set up, and that was just a smaller.
So you guys said Nidos and Toyos for all terrains for off road. What do you guys think about for like a street car, like a little car? What kind of tire brands do you guys like?
Sports car.
Probably the
A
same.
sports car.
Probably the same. Needles.
100 miles per hour.
So it has to do I think it has to do a lot on budgets. If
No, I'm asking what you guys prefer.
I've always been a fan of the Hankook.
The Hankook?
I don't know why. The K110s,
Yeah.
those were kick ass.
Oh.
Okay.
I've always liked them.
Nitto, I still go with Nittos.
And Nittos, yeah, that'd be
some Falcons.
Triple Eights. Who makes the Triple Eights?
That Toyo are
Those are expensive though.
Yeah.
Those are when you're ready to get serious.
They're like $400 or $500 a tire.
Yeah, another thing people are not supposed to do is don't buy sometimes they like I said they always look at the UTQG number. So if you want a mileage tire, you want the highest number. But if you performance and you want like a street drag or whatever, obviously you want to lower the UTQG number and they're gonna handle nicer.
Yeah.
So you can't have on tires. You can't have
both ways.
You can't have it both ways. You either have a performance, right, or you have mileage. So you can't.
And then another thing too, I pay attention to was directional.
Oh yeah.
Directionals are good only because you can flip them.
Yeah.
You can always flip them, but there's not that many directional. There's all asymmetric ones now. They're outside inside. But that was one thing. Like you have the 350Z, so like that one most definitely I would try to search for you like a directional type.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I think
a lot of cars have that.
It's not fast. Just so you know, his car is not fast at all.
Dude, you're a hater.
It's like no. I think
You're off the podcast.
I'm
Just
pretty
get
sure.
out of here.
I'm pretty sure the minivan will smoke it. Dude.
So fast.
Man. The minivan will smoke the three.
And so those cars have like a natural camber 3 Series. Those, so I always try to get the most life out of.
I'm pretty sure you don't have to worry about speed. So you can probably go with the Chinese ones, bro.
That's another reason I was a big fan of the Hankook.
I once had a friend of mine. And he used to have a Subaru, I think it was STI, and I used to pick up a lot of cars from car dealers, right?
Yeah.
And it was almost a brand spanking new 350Z, and then this guy, I'm driving on the second lane, and he pulls right next to me, and he recognized me. Oh, he's like, he went like this. He's right. He was a customer of mine, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, "Let's go." Right? I floored that 350Z, almost brand spanking new, and the guy toasted me.
What was he in?
STI.
Bro, that was a 350Z. Bro.
He launched.
That's way faster than the 300.
All-wheel drive.
Yeah, and that was a 350.
Yeah, but that's rolling already though.
I was a 6-cylinder versus a 4-cylinder.
Yeah. 4-cylinder turbo all-wheel drive. There's some competition.
Actually, yeah, those Subarus are.
The 350 has top end.
Yeah, he smoked me, so I got embarrassed.
Wheel Zone, what are your business hours? I think we have the days, but just give us that information.
9 to 6, Monday to Friday, and Sundays 8 to 4.
Saturdays 8 to 4.
No, don't come on Sundays.
Don't give him any idea.
New schedule.
New schedule.
I won't be here.
So 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday.
9 to 6.
The knowledge is here. Come and ask them questions. Come ask
Come and play pool.
Danny and Beto.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them wheel questions. They got it. They know it.
Yeah.
They got a huge.
Danny will geek out.
Just come on in.
He will break down the tire.
There's no appointments needed.
No appointments, by the way.
No appointments needed. Just
Pool table around the corner.
I think I think our competitive discounts, I think they're only by appointments mostly.
Are they?
Yeah,
They're starting to be.
Yeah, since COVID, they've moving towards appointment only.
And then what's your phone number?
619-423-4407.
Hey.
And then we got the Instagram too, just straight up the Wheel Zone.
The Wheel Zone.
Wheel Zone.
There you go.
And on Facebook too, also just the Wheel Zone, nice and easy.
Yeah.
Check them out.
Cool.
I'll definitely be coming here for
Check it out.
my wheels.
And if a lot of people are like, oh, what's the cost on this wheel repair? Just shoot us a picture there on Instagram.
Cool.
Or just come down.
Or just come down because your wheels too. All the wheel repairs in house, so you can sometimes even wait for it.
Yeah, tell them Backyard Dynamics sent you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
they
Thank
might
you
give
guys.
you
Hey guys,
They might give you a shout out.
cold drink.
thanks for letting us come here.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thanks,
letting
guys.
us record it,
Yeah,
and
man.
thanks for
Appreciate it.
especially sharing your knowledge. It was very interesting about the go-kart in Mexico City.
Yeah,
Exactly.
appreciate it.
stories.
There's gonna be more stories too, because man, I'm interested in his wheel manufacturing.
I
Whole other
appreciate
story.
you guys having me. I appreciate Beto for everything.
Yeah,
And-
No, thank you guys.
Yeah,
This was fun.
Yeah, boss
Yeah,
was
it's cool.
excited
Nice
about
time.
this. So that's dope.
Yeah.
Everybody wave.
What's up?
Thank you so much. Peace.
Yeah. Later.